All right, we're going to talk about a little special bait today, lipless crankbait or rattle trap. When I was a kid, this is probably the first bait I ever bought, first lure, Tim's Tackle Box. It was an old Bill Lewis rattle trap, blue and chrome. Took it home and I saw the line tie on top and thought it was a vertical jigging bait, and I never fished with it. I was about 6 or 7 years old. Later, I figured out how special this bait was. And there's a few different ways I fish it, so I want to share those with you guys today, and maybe they'll help you catch fish. First one is just they got different rattles in them. You know, I play with them a little bit, different times of year, different size bait fish, depending on how loud or small those rattles find. To me, I kind of mimic them to either crawfish, if you got crawfish in your area, or lots of small bait fish, and I'll look for a smaller rattle. It's got a lot more BBs in there. It sounds like smaller scales hitting together. One of the ways I like to fish it, there's a few different ways. One of them, a lot of people, you can just throw this bait out and reel it in. I mean, it's good just about wherever you go. One of the ways I like to fish it in shallow water, I mean, fish it from 1 foot of water to 30 foot of water. Shallow water down here, Florida, weed beds, there's a lot of shallow water down here, and you get a lot of shallow water grass. And one of the ways I've caught a lot is getting like a 7.5 foot heavy action rod, 50-pound braided line, 5/8 rattle trap, and a high-speed reel. And you can find 3 foot of water and 1.5 foot of grass. Throw this thing out and just wind it back, literally about as fast as you can turn the handle, just right above that grass, and you'll get that reaction bite. I mean, they're not even gonna know what it is or what's going on. They're just gonna slam that thing. And that's a great way to catch them down here in Florida, just ripping it through that grass. Another way, you know, 4 foot to 10 foot, again, grass fishing. This is probably one of my favorites. You can use it with any rattle trap. I just like the rattles and the Bill Lewis, the old style rattle trap. I'll pull the back hook off, oversized front hook, and I'll usually fish it with fluorocarbon, anywhere from 12 to 17-pound fluorocarbon, depending on where I'm at. And if you're not fishing it, if you're not touching the grass with this bait, you're probably not fishing it the best way, getting the most potential out of it you can. But I'll drop this thing in the grass. That one hook less on the back, you can fish it through that grass a lot more efficiently. You can drop it in there, rip it out. 9 times out of 10, they're gonna eat that front hook anyway, so you're not gonna lose as many fish without having that small back hook on there. I don't lose very many fish on this thing at all. You see this bait's pretty tore up. It's got eyeballs missing and everything. It's been a really great bait. Go out a little bit deeper, 20 foot, 25 foot of water. I like to fish it with 15-pound big game, maybe 17, 20, but usually I'll throw 15, sling it as far as I can, and I like one that will swim when you drop it. I'll throw it out there on a calm day and just watch my line. Watch it swim to the bottom, watch your line. If you see that thing tick, set the hook on it. It's probably a fish hitting it. I'll let it hit the bottom and I'll pop it up. And what that monofilament does on that long cast, it gives you a vertical presentation. You got such a huge bow in your line. Now it's hard to feel them. That's why I say if you get any tick, set the hook on them, because they're really, really hard to feel with that big bow in your line. But when you pull it out there, you're gonna get more of that vertical action out of it. And a lot of times that deeper water, that's how you can catch them. That'll be the difference of throwing it on fluorocarbon or braid. That monofilament will give you more of a vertical action. Another way, if you're just fishing for schooling fish or you want to make a far cast, take the back hook off and tie your casting line on this back hook. And it'll transfer the weight to the front, and you can cast that thing so much farther than a normal one. And you'll lose a little bit of retrieving action, but when you drop it and let it go, it'll swim backwards towards the fish or back down deeper. It still has some action on the reverse. Pulling it forward, it acts just kind of like a weird spoon. But you can get a super, super long cast rigging it like that. Those are a few different ways that I like to catch them down here. Be creative with it and just try different stuff. Look at it in a pool, look at it next to your boat, and just try different things, rig different things on them. And you know, another thing I do with these baits too, and really all of my hard baits, when I get a brand new bait, a lot of times I'll take a knife or some sandpaper and I'll scratch up right here around the belly, or I'll scratch the eye out of it. And I'll do something to it to make it look like it's injured, make it look like it's a little bit easier to catch. It's already been tried to be eaten by another predator. And to me, it just makes it look a little bit more enticing for a big fish to come after if it looks like it's injured or crippled in some fashion. But hopefully some of those little tips will help you catch more fish on lipless crankbait. Rattle trap, whatever.